going on, YouTube? It's Sensei, the place to be. Chill, Mr. Andy. Back to give you guys some more WWE 2K22 news here. And today we got the newest episode of the Ringside Report, episode 2, that is going to break down the entire John Cena showcase mode. So now, before we only got about 6 truly confirmed matches from the trailer. It looked like about 9 confirmed matches, but now we got the full list of all 14 matches that's going to be a part of the John Cena showcase mode. So I'm really excited about it. I'm a fan of showcase mode. I know some people are not a fan of showcase mode, but it's like, you know, I just like, you know, storytelling and going back in history and stuff like that. It's a mode kind of like the Jordan challenge. I'm always been a fan of those modes. So now we're going to sit there and break down each match that they have. I don't know if they're in order of how they are listed or anything like that, but we're going to go down to each match of what is going to be on the showcase. The Ringside Report does give, you know, idea of what their version of the showcase stuff is going to be like and how it was supposed to be, and you know, what their reasoning was for. But we're going to go mostly right into the match list. So we have John Cena versus Kurt Angle from 2002, which is something that we already knew about from according to the trailer, and that was John Cena's first debut match. John Cena versus Batista, SummerSlam of 2008. Batista, this is the clash of like Hogan and Ultimate Warrior as it's describing, and they really paralleled each other. But Cena and Batista would have been the biggest rivalry if Batista ain't leave, because then it went to Cena and Orton, to be honest with you, but you can always make an argument for that. John Cena versus Edge from 2006. SummerSlam of 2006, I do remember that very well. I remember 2006 very well, because even though it wasn't the best year, it was still one of my favorite years for some reason, and I do remember that Edge and John Cena matchup from 2006, which I do believe confirms that we will probably be getting a new leader as well, because I'll get to leader a little bit later on down the line. Next up, we get John Cena versus Edge, New Year's Revolution 2006. First of all, I'm just happy that we're going to get a New Year's Revolution ring and arena, because I was a fan of those, and it's a possibility that we can use the old Elimination Chamber, because obviously we've been using the new one, and they had an option to switch, but they didn't have it last year. I'm hoping now with this, because it was a chamber match that got raised up, and at the end, Edge took on Cena at the end to do the first ever Money in the Bank cash-in, which I thought was one of the best cash-ins that they ever did, next to Seth Rollins at WrestleMania main event. John Cena versus Triple H at Night of Champions 2008. We're getting the Night of Champions 2008 arena, obviously, and this was, you know, Cena and Triple H had a rivalry of how Cena made Triple H tap out. The Triple H got injured. Then now we got the comeback here, and we're doing Cena. It's kind of like we're doing Cena and Triple H again. So glad to see the Night of Champions on there. John Cena versus Brock Lesnar, SummerSlam 2014, known as the squash match, where Cena got squashed the first time in his career. I mean, well, since being Super Cena, like first time getting squashed. This is way before Undertaker WrestleMania 34. This is when Brock was hot. He just ended the streak earlier that year at WrestleMania, and at SummerSlam he beat Cena with a total of 14 German suplexes. So that should be a good matchup to play as. A surprising one, Vengeance, John Cena versus Undertaker from Vengeance 2003. I honestly did not think. I knew they would have to add some Dr. Duggonomics matches, right? And the first thing that came to my mind was the parking lot brawl between Eddie Guerrero, because we already have a backstage area. Eddie Guerrero is already in the game. I figured that'll probably be it. A lot of fans saying, well, what about the United States Championship match with Carlito? Thinking that they'll probably add Carlito in the game. And I was just like, well, if he was going to do that, he'll be revealed in the roster already. I think that would be one of the first selling points. They would have been to showcase putting Carlito in there, and it's supposed to be a DLC. But I didn't think, since we haven't seen Carlito in a while, I don't know what his status is, that he would be put in the game. But having Vengeance, because I was sitting there, me and Prime was talking about which match is better between Undertaker and Cena other than the WrestleMania 34 match, the Vengeance match. So they did put that matchup in the game with Cena and Undertaker from 2003. John Cena versus Randy Orton, Hell in a Cell 2009. Obviously, you're going to have some Cena and Orton stuff in here. I am just glad they didn't do Cena Orton from SummerSlam 2007. So now we're going to do a Hell in a Cell match between Cena and Orton. So that should be interesting as well. John Cena versus Roman Reigns from this SummerSlam 2001, SummerSlam 2 years ago. which was a decent match. Obviously, we knew Cena wasn't going to win, but Cena's past his prime right now, so Cena wasn't put out those kind of matches at the time. But it was still an interesting match to check out. John Cena versus AJ Styles, SummerSlam 2016, which is one of my favorite matches from that SummerSlam, because the whole rivalry between him and AJ Styles, and having AJ Styles beat Cena cleanly was good. That AJ Styles beating Cena cleanly, and Kevin Owens beating John Cena at Elimination Chamber of 2015, I believe it was. It's just those right there were, the matches before, awesome happened. So John Cena versus The Undertaker, WrestleMania 34. This is obviously the build-up where John Cena didn't know he was going to be in a match at WrestleMania. He was a fan. Undertaker responded at WrestleMania, and John Cena got his matchup. Did I like the way they built that match? I honestly, they were trying to be creative and do something different, but did I like the build to that match? No. And then, obviously, the whole Undertaker retiring the year before, having a terrible match, I understand what they was going. It all felt terrible. Then we have John Cena versus Rob Van Dam, ECW 2006. So this one, obviously, is the one we got the most showcase footage for, almost showing that whole matchup here. Like about 3 or 4 of his matches, which I will put throughout the video. And that was the whole list of showcase. I think it's a good list. Me personally, for somebody who really enjoys showcase mode, would have liked to see more matches. I mean, obviously everybody can't be in there. We can't put CM Punk in there, obviously. And a couple of things we can't put in there, but there are some. Like me personally, when you do modes like this, it's like 15 to 20 matches. It's kind of like, but I understand if you're doing like somebody's story, I guess 12, 14 matches is cool. But then we do like an era, it'll be kind of cool. Because I think if they're going to do it this way, I think next year should be, since we did the 30 years of WrestleMania for 2K14, for 2K24, you try to beat The Undertaker. And just do all 30 of the matches, or the ones you can contractually be able to get. Do all 30 of the matches and try to beat The Undertaker at WrestleMania before his streak is eventually over. And then by the time you get to Brock and Undertaker tries to beat Brock. So I'm just saying that's for next year, but we're not there yet. We're at John Cena. So I think it's a pretty good list. You can post down in the comments how you think you guys enjoyed the list. And also, I might as well round up all the other news that we kind of got, because we got another 2K Showdown yesterday live stream, which really didn't reveal too much, because I thought all the showcase information was going to be on that stream like they said it was going to be, but it wasn't. They showed more about the creative superstars and how their skin texture and their face texture is going to look. And when it comes to the images, it does look like that. Like we're going to get an update, but you still got to see more. And also, they revealed Lita. So they showed Lita's entrance, and Lita has an updated model, so that's a positive. But she has come out in the same, like, I understand that it's hard to update for the legends because a lot are dead or retired or whatever the case may be. But I'm just saying, like, sometimes you got to give some love. Like, I remember 2K19 was like, oh, we finally getting some updated legends, okay? And I'm like, that's how I feel about it. But Lita has been that same Lita since 2K16 with the same attire and everything. The good news is, like I was saying earlier, is during that showcase mode with John Cena, we're going to be getting that Edge and Lita from SummerSlam 2006 and New Year's Resolution of 2006. So obviously, and Lita was always with his manager, so that's going to be an updated Lita from that era. So I am okay with that. So I'm okay with, with the updates. Then they showed off Cora Jade. And Cora Jade has a nice entrance, has a nice model. Now, I know I'm probably in the camp by myself that I feel as though that, I don't know if it fully resembles Cora Jade. Maybe it's because it's not the heel Cora Jade yet. She's the babyface Cora Jade in this one. So I'm not necessarily sure, but it's something that seems a little bit off to me in the whole Cora Jade entrance ever since they showed the gameplay trailer. But now I'm just like, okay, it was cool for what it was. And also, they revealed Grayson Waller's entrance, which I think out of all of them was the best one. He got the look down, he got the entrance, he got the music. I did a reaction to that one also. But, I just wanted to go over how I felt about it. Man, it was really good. It was really well done. They put out some screenshots for Valentine's Day showing an image of Bret Hart, which, like I said with the Legends, Bret Hart has not changed too much. He rarely changes in the game. And if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Bret Hart's one of the better looking models in all the 2K every year. So if it ain't broke, don't fix it. I mean, but when it comes to certain Legends, that's every year, I'm just like, I understand new models and updates, but I'm just like, I would like a new Booker T. as me being a Booker T fan, I like a new Booker T. It's kind of like I want a new Vader, and we went from, what time is it Vader time to like Japanese WCW Vader in 2K19. Those are kind of updates I be looking for. Like when they had British Bulldog in there last year and how he had the long braids up compared to always that little short buzz cut. I'm like, those are kind of updates I like in Legends. And I know every Legend's not going to get an update. It's hard to give an update to every single Legend, but some ones that be like, okay, this is past due, okay? Just past due. And last but not least, they reveal what the 2K soundtrack is going to be. We got 12 songs with the exclusive producer John Cena, so he has had his hands into the showcase soundtrack. Now, here's the thing: when it comes to the soundtracks and when it comes to the music for 2K, it's all about personal preference. But I do understand. Look at me, y'all. As a black guy, I love my R&B. Which is my top thing. I love my hip hop, but I love all kinds of music as well, And obviously, when you play an NBA game, that music is going to be geared more to that audience. Just like if you play a wrestling game, wrestling is more heavy metal and rock goes on there, and I understand that, which I'm cool with, and that's going to go geared to that. But when it comes to this track list, I'm going to be honest with you. Look, I'm old school, okay? And I'm showing my age here. I know a lot of people could be watching this is probably, younger, probably still in high school, probably still in grade school, to be honest with you. But me, I'm grown, married, 2 kids. I am old school, so I don't even really listen to even the new music now. There's like some names on here I know, and some I don't. We got Metallica, Sad But True. I know Metallica, absolutely. Red Hot Chili Peppers, Can't Stop. My wife is a huge Red Hot Chili Peppers fan. Doja Cat, Vegas. I'm not really into Doja Cat, to be honest with you. Luciano, SUV. Don't know who that is. Bizarre Rap and Quevedo. Bizarre Music Session Volume 52. Those are Hispanic rappers. I thought they were going to put some Bad Bunny songs on here also, but those are like Hispanic rappers that I don't really know too much about, to be honest with you. Jonah Lucas and Lil Baby. Ramen and OJ. Look, I know who they are, but I'm not big fans of them, so, okay, cool. Hardy Jack. Hardy. Bullet for My Valentine. No More Tears to Cry. Okay, sounds cool, but I'm not familiar with them. Deli V featuring Omar Cortez, Dame Luke. Don't know who that is. Let Down, Shipwreck. Not familiar. Idols, Ground. Not familiar. Post Malone featuring Ozzy Osbourne and Travis Scott, Take What You Want. I ain't familiar with all those names and familiar with that. So, there you have it. So, that is the soundtrack. Like I said, I'm not saying it's a bad soundtrack or it's a good soundtrack. Me personally, it's like how I feel about when it comes to NBA 2K. I don't really care about when it comes to, the track listings and something with the soundtrack, like about what genre of music it is. Like I said, I don't mind the soundtracks or anything like that. I think it's cool. I like the 2K has the soundtracks. My only thing is when it comes to like how NBA 2K does it, it's like each cycling period or each one when they update the game and stuff like that, they add more tracks to it. And it's like a huge soundtrack list. And I understand they did it for NBA because wrestling, you have the entrance music of the wrestlers. But there has been no Jim Johnson and no CFOs. The music for wrestlers have sucked, and they have remixed them to make them worse, to be honest with you. And I'm just like, man, you know what? It would be kind of cool, even for the 2K game, that we could just add a couple songs, as they update the game and stuff like that. That's all I'm saying. But post any comments down below how you guys feel about the soundtrack. If y'all just turn it off and just listen to the rest of the music, or just don't listen to music at all, doesn't matter. How you guys like the listing for the John Cena showcase? How you guys like the entrances and all the other stuff? Post out in the comments down below. Hit the like button if you guys enjoyed my breakdown. Hit the subscribe button for more breakdown. Hit the subscribe button down below for more breakdowns and stuff right here for 2K23 right here on the Nerd Coalition, and along with pop culture news, which is coming from the Nerdgasm Talk podcast today, and the No Gimmicks Needed podcast and wrestling news. So once again, this is NC, the place to be. Chill, Mr. Andy, and the Nerd Coalition is out.